Hi, my name is Nikki Laura, and I'm the director of the Amelia Center for Community Engagement here at the college. I wanted to take a couple minutes and talk to you about community engaged learning. You are enrolled in Professor Cisco's Introduction to Sociology, and she is offering community engaged learning as an option. You may have heard of service learning. It's the same thing as community engaged learning. So whether you've participated before or not, I want to go over some of the steps and explain the process so you're able to participate this semester. It's optional in this course, which means you get to choose between this or another set of assignments. Some reasons you may want to consider participating in community engaged learning beyond the fact that you personally might be interested in helping in the community is that it relates to the course. Your professor believes in it as a way for you to learn the concepts that you're studying. And so that's why she's offering it. It will make the course concepts come to life and you'll have real world experience and get to see in action what you're learning in this class, particularly relevant for Introduction to Sociology. And also, it may be something that helps you clarify what you want to do after you graduate. Could be a connection to an internship, a mentor, or a reference. So there's a lot of reasons to consider doing it this semester. Before I go any further, I must note that all of the community engagement options are virtual. We are not going into community because of the pandemic. But even though they're virtual, they're still impactful, and you'll be able, through most of the opportunities, to connect directly with someone through the screen. I've heard a rumor that some students think that it doesn't make sense to volunteer or do community engaged learning. How could we possibly do it in a virtual world? But we learned last semester that not only is it possible, it's powerful for both our community members and for our students. So I hope you consider this option. I'm briefly going to go through the course document that Professor Cisco shared with you. You'll see that there's the learning goals. These were written by Professor Cisco, and that's kind of your roadmap for this experience. This is what she hopes you'll get out of it. Continuing down, you'll see information about the application process. She also shared with you a video that walks you through applying on Anselm Engage. That video link is also right here if you see where my cursor is. This is the link to the application, Anselm Engage. Give Pulse is also another name for it. What's really important to note here is that our applications for community engaged learning are due Sunday, February 7th. The reason for this is because we need to have enough time to have you go through the other application process, background checks, and or fingerprints so that you're able to start on time and engage throughout the entire semester. So please make sure to get your applications in by Sunday. If you would like to submit an application later, you'll have to talk to Professor Cisco and then the Amelia Center. Also important to note, everyone must attend an online orientation. So that's also virtual, it'll be through Zoom. The video walks you through how to sign up on that. It's on Anselm Engage. The orientation is really important, even if you've community engaged learned before. Things are different now and they're different every semester. So please make sure to sign up for one of those. Another important thing to note is that if you choose a site that requires fingerprinting, there are only 3 days on campus and they're listed here. One is this week. I encourage you to sign up for the earliest date that's available, just because it takes a couple weeks for your criminal record checks to come back into the site you're going to serve with. And so you can see February 4th. If there's a date available when you go to sign up, pick that one. The next 2 dates are next week. So really, if you miss one of these days, you will need to choose a different site that doesn't require fingerprinting. So I would encourage you to sign up immediately on Anselm Engage if you're interested in the site that requires fingerprinting, and then also right after sign up for the fingerprinting session. Cassidy from our office will reach out to you with everything you need to make sure that you're set to go for your fingerprinting appointment. Fingerprinting occurs in the Amelia Center. You'll see that there's requirements listed, and then we get to the good stuff, the opportunities. So these opportunities vary. I'm just going to touch on them briefly. Before I dive in, I just want to note the structure of how they're listed. First, at the top, you have the site name, for example, Access Academy. And then you have the description, maybe the days, some sites have their times. And then if you come down here, you'll see that there's this person named. That's the student coordinator who can tell you more about the site and will help you through the placement process after you apply. If you have any questions, please reach out to the student or stop by the Melia Center in the Gene Center. You can see that after that, we list whether it requires a background check or fingerprinting. If you are getting fingerprints, you also have to fill out paper background check. Background checks must be notarized. Myself and Cassidy in the Melia Center are both notaries, and we will be present in the office and be able to notarize those background checks for you. You need to bring your government issued ID or license, and then we can take care of that. All the background checks and all the paper that you need for applications for the sites are located in the Melia Center as well. So you can stop by and anyone in the office can help you. Okay, that is all the details. And just a reminder, all of these opportunities are virtual. So you won't be driving anywhere. You'll be doing these opportunities from the campus through your computer. So Access Academy is offered Monday and Tuesdays, 4:30 to 5:30 through Google Classroom. It is an after-school program that works with high school students that are part of groups that are considered underrepresented in higher education. So particularly we work with refugee and immigrant students, first-generation college students, potential first-generation college students, and low-income students, but we welcome anyone from the 4 high schools. So it creates very diverse and exciting classrooms. And what you would do is you would help the student instructors. We are offering 7 classrooms that you can volunteer in. So when you apply for Access Academy, you pick the day that works best for you, and then Anna will work with you on which class you want to work in. Holy Cross Learning Center, you work through a different virtual classroom platform, and you help in virtual classrooms for adults who are learning English. Most of them are new Americans. The dates and times are there. It's important to check the date and times and make sure they work in your schedule before you apply. That's why we try to write it out for you. The Manchester School District. This is one of the sites where we have the most opportunity and the most need, specifically with high school students. It's also one of the most flexible. You work with a co-tutor and provide academic and social and emotional support to high school students as they navigate the challenges of remote learning. So part of this opportunity, even though it's flexible means you need to be able to schedule tutoring sessions, work collaboratively with your co-tutor. And our students who have been doing it in the fall and all the way through the winter have really enjoyed it. And most of the community engaged learners from the fall stayed on as volunteers in the winter. They enjoyed it so much. The next 2 opportunities are also tutoring students in the Manchester School District. We do this through other organizations. So Manchester Community Action Coalition is a group of parents who have come together to try to help the needs of their students. They're specifically working with students of color, and you would be trained and then work with a co-tutor to support that middle school or high school student. Victory Vision of Women also is a virtual academic program where there's small group sessions. So you would be in a session with a few students and other St. Anselm volunteers who are tutoring. And that is also, that's on Wednesday afternoons and evenings. And you can see for those 2 opportunities, a background check is required. For the Manchester School District, fingerprints and background checks are required. So for Access Academy and Manchester School District, make sure you apply right away and then immediately apply for a fingerprinting appointment after. Holy Cross Learning Center, because it is with adults, does not require a background check or fingerprinting. So you just have to sign up and the coordinator will reach out. So that's what happens. After you sign up on Anselm Engage, our student coordinators who are listed with these opportunities will shoot you an email to check in, go over all the other information you need to know to get ready and started, and help you with the placement process. So they usually respond within 24 to 48 hours of the application, but you need to remember that they're students too. So if you haven't heard after 48 hours, just shoot them an email and they'll connect with you right away. While we have a lot of people to help you, we encourage you to take an active role in choosing your site, your placement process, and ask any questions along the way. Be an active learner. The final thing I'm going to say is that one of the magical things about community engaged learning is it really gives you an opportunity not only to see what's happening, like what you're learning in your course happening in the real world, but it also gives you an opportunity to challenge yourself. At the Melia Center, we think the sweet spot is to challenge yourself a little bit, try something new, but not too much so that you don't enjoy it. And only you can know what that means for you? What's new? What will be slightly challenging? What's challenging enough? What are you passionate about? What interests you? So as you're looking at these sites, hopefully something stands out. And I hope you enjoy your semester. I can't wait to hear the stories and about your experience. And again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to anyone listed here or stop by the Amelia Center. Thanks for your time.